Welcome to Military Miniatures Magazine. In this issue, we are going to evaluate Tamiya Lacquer Paint LP-55 Dark Yellow 2, the new base color of German Großgerät, large equipment, introduced by the Wehrmacht in February 1943. Here is an HO scale Rocco Panzer IV Ausführung H, airbrushed in Tamiya LP-55 Dark Yellow 2, directly from the bottle. Tamiya offers the same Dark Yellow 2 in their range of acrylic paint, and we had every reason to assume that the lacquer paint would be identical. As it turns out, this is not the case. LP-55 and XF-88 Dark Yellow 2 are two vastly different colors, even if their name suggests otherwise. Tamiya XF-88 is the dark yellow of the two colors, whereas LP-55 tends towards the green part of the visible spectrum. Here is AK Real Color RC059 Dunkelgelb nach Muster, the equivalent of Dark Yellow 2, but using the official German designation of the color. AK RC059 Dunkelgelb nach Muster and Tamiya XF-88 Dark Yellow 2 are both nicely dark yellow paints, without the slightest U-shift towards green. Finally, we have Gunze H430 Dark Yellow, which differs from Dark Yellow 2, but is clearly not a greenish paint either. Here is the Sonderkraftfahrzeug 234-3 Kanonenwagen we painted in a recent tutorial. Notice that the dark yellow base color of the armored car is light beige, not green. It is AK RC059 Dunkelgelb nach Muster, tinted with 23% Tamiya XF5 white for aerial perspective. It turns out that this tinted base color is practically identical to Tamiya XF88 Dark Yellow 2, straight from the tub. In fact, we used Tamiya XF88 Dark Yellow 2 to touch up the dark yellow base color simply because we were too lazy to mix another batch of tinted AK RC059 Dunkelgelb nach Muster for this purpose. Here is the best match for Tamiya LP-55 Dark Yellow 2 we could find in our large inventory of paint samples. It's Revell 36.362 Reed Green RAL 6013, a good match for Grün Meliert, green melange, the desaturated light green fabric color of the Fallschirmjägerbluse M40 jump smock of German Luftwaffe paratroopers. Something went wrong with Tamiya LP-55 Dark Yellow 2. It is a completely different color from Tamiya XF-88 Dark Yellow 2. Is this a production error which may be corrected in the future? Or has Tamiya decided to change the recipe for Dark Yellow 2 for some reason? This second Panzer IV Ausführung H was sprayed AK RC059 Dunkelgelb nach Muster, tinted with 23% Tamiya LP-04 white. Clearly, these two tanks are incompatible with each other. The green Panzer IV will have to be repainted, and the dark yellow tank may need to be tinted just a little more to properly account for aerial perspective. For decades, military modelers have been arguing about the compatibility of paint used on military equipment. There are two irreconcilable factions. One argues that standard colors were produced to industry standards like British Standard Colors, Federal Standard Colors, or RAL, that these standards were easy to follow and that they were enforced even in wartime. The other faction points out that paint manufacturers do make mistakes, that paint recipes sometimes cannot be adhered to, that paint needs to be stretched with cheap white pigment when other, more difficult to procure pigments are in short supply, and that tank factories could not afford the luxury of rejecting a paint delivery simply because the hue of Dunkelgelb nach Muster was noticeably wrong. Tamiya LP-55 Dark Yellow 2 appears to support the latter argument. Tamiya does not seem to be suffering any wartime supply constraints. They are probably using state-of-the-art computerized paint matching and mixing technology, yet they fail to produce an even vaguely compatible dark yellow 2 from one line of their paints to another. And Tamiya isn't the only company failing at this supposedly simple task. We have enough Airfix, Humbrol and Revell paint samples in our inventory to indicate that paint can be noticeably different from one production batch to the next, even with our modern production processes. If you happen to have reed green Tamiya LP-55 in your inventory, don't use it on German vehicles and equipment, but consider painting more Fallschirmjäger. Thank you for watching. For more information, you are welcome to visit our website at miniatures.de.